All right, if you were considering these, go buy them. If you were considering these, save some more money, get these. All right, this is gonna be a very raw review. I reviewed these last week and my verdict on them, for me, it was a personal, I wouldn't buy them. They are functional. They do what they're meant to do. I just don't like how they do it. I think they're overly cumbersome. I think they're extremely slow. They are very inexpensive. $159 kit it came in. So with the charger and battery. This is a brushed version of this. I did show other pruners in that video that were brushless. A brushed motor has these carbon brushes that make contact with part of the motor, which then can create heat and friction, and they wear over time. Whereas a brushless one is a lot more efficient. It uses electronics to do the same thing. So that's why you'll see brushless motors very common with a lot of outdoor power equipment. These are at a disadvantage because they are built to a price point. I did mention in that video though, Ozito do have a brushless model. So I went out and bought it. This was actually the model that I was going out to buy the day I bought these, but the store I went to didn't have these, so I ended up with these. Also found the pruning saw, so that'll be in another video. Now I am super excited to see the difference. I bought the skin only in this brushless model, reason being I don't need a million Ozito batteries. I can only see skin only, I can't see a kit. If I'm wrong, I do apologise, but it's a $169 skin only. So you need to have a battery. This is how I bought it anyway. Whereas, we'll compare the skin to skin price, I guess. There's skin on skin action. There's skin on skin action right there. This is a $105 skin. It is the brushed version. This is a $169 skin. It is the brushless version. Right away, big differences. The brushless version is much more compact. Feels better in the hand. I mean, this is a very superficial comparison, but the plastics look very toy-like, child toy-like on the brush version. This brushless one actually looks and feels much higher end than it is. Straight away in the hands, this feels like a much more premium item. The rubber feels grippier too. I don't know what the word is, perforate. It's not perforated, but it's grippier rubber there. That's smooth rubber. I mean, these are just very small differences. The trigger feels a lot better. There's no safety on it. I mean, there's like an on switch, I think, but there's no safety like the other version has. That was another thing that I didn't like about the brushed version. I want to get the battery on and see how quick the action is. So totally different. We have a display that'll tell us what's going on. I guess we hold that on. So it's on standby. Looks like you could set it to 2 cutting widths. So I guess that's where the this blade will set, either wide or narrow, 14 mil or 28 mil. So we have more options too. There we go, so 2 presses of the trigger, gets us to the 28 mil. Look at that. How do we get to the 14 mil? Do we just hold it? Do we just hold it? Or do we, how do we do that? Oh yeah, okay, I just held the trigger and it switched it. That just changes where that blade sets there. You can see much wider there for the 28 mil stuff. Straight away. Feels much better. Compare the pair. Yeah, the height of them is different too. The brush version is longer. So this just feels better all round. Obviously it's more money, that would make sense. It should be a better tool, but it feels out of the box when we're talking, what is it, $169. So it's $64 more. And I feel there is at least $64 worth of difference in the tool. Like I would more want to use this one. It's like it has a standby mode. If you leave it for too long, it goes into standby mode. You've got to, I believe, press the trigger twice to get back into cutting mode. We'll do a bit of a speed test with the Stihl ASA20. This is a, I can't think of the skin price off the top of my head. I think it's a 329 kit, battery and charger. It's a more expensive tool. Much closer in speed to that. I feel the problem with a lot of entry-level tools is you buy them wanting them to do something and then you go and use them and you resent them, which, again, this is just my personal opinion. I feel that's how I would feel after buying that one. Out of the box, this feels so much better. I wouldn't have buyer's remorse out of the box. Let's see how it can cut. Before we do that, I will tell you about cuts on a single charge. What do we got here? 2.5 amp hour. Doesn't even register, but depending on what battery you're using, 2 amp to 5.2 amp, anywhere from 1450 cuts to 3860. So kind of throw that out the window, it doesn't matter. That's a lot of cuts. It's going to be more than you're doing at home, more than acceptable. That's going to vary whatever you're cutting anyway. If you're cutting really hard stuff, that's going to go down. It was cut only a couple of days ago, so I guess it's still classed as green. Trigger's responsive, I do like that. I like a responsive tool. I don't want to be pressing and waiting for something to happen. I don't know why I'm excited about the first cut. There you go. That's how it should be. That's actually very satisfying. I do like that. No struggle at all. To the brushed version, which will get through it, absolutely, but just a lot slower. It just sounds like it's working. I don't know. Feels like more of a squeeze, and you can kind of see by the way it explodes out sometimes when it's pruning, like it's more of a squeeze than a nice crisp snap of a prune. Let's go. This looks a little harder. Maybe not. That standby comes on right away. It's good. Good safety feature. Oh, that's good if you're pruning little stuff. So that 25 to 30 mil pruner range I would call, you know, like garden pruners. Don't think you're going to be doing hedge reductions and that sort of thing with them. I do have a 40 mil set that I do that with, and it is so easy to get through that sort of work. But that 25 to 30 mil, it's more like it's real pruning, garden pruning. We have something much thicker here. No. That looks like about 12 mil. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Let's go through at least. This could be approaching 25 mil. It may not get through it. It got through it super easy. Let's see the brushed version. I feel like that will get through it also. Stuff feels soft. We need some harder stuff to get through. Doing its job and doing its job in a efficient manner. So good start. This is probably 22 mil, different type of bush. Let's compare. Man, these still feel kind of talky. Like they get through it, but it really feels like it's working. Like, look. Didn't like that one so much, but let's keep going with the brushless. We are getting thicker now. That is a good 23, 24 mil. And it is sailing through it. Check this out. Alright, I just pruned this off a tree just to get an example. So it's obviously green, but that's approaching 30 mil, which in theory is its limit, and all right, if you were considering these, go buy them. If you were considering these, save some more money, get these. Both do the job. This one is going to be a lot more satisfying. You're just going to enjoy what you're doing. Nice clean cuts. If you're doing lots of garden pruning, and I imagine you'd be doing lots more smaller stuff, it's going to be quicker for you. Yeah, it's just not for me, not for me. $105 skin, $169 skin, but great to see the difference. All right, we've got to get it to failure point before we can conclude this, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to try and cut this diagonally, which will make the cut much bigger. No issue there for the soft stuff. Wider again here. Let's just prune those off. Oh, can't even get the mouth around it. Maybe we can get in a couple of cuts. Well, that one, this stuff must be quite soft. Okay, that's too easy. Let's try some harder stuff, which this is where it should be harder. Oh, it still just snaps through. That's only about 12, 15 mil. No hassle. And we've got this girthy old dried out thing. There we go. That's finally what got it, which is about 35 mil maybe, and dry. But I still think we'll be able to get through it with a couple of cuts. We're getting there. Yeah, don't be buying it for that sort of stuff. If you got this sort of stuff, well, more importantly, green stuff, this sort of stuff, it's going to do a great job by the look of it. Who's going to clean this up? Hope you enjoyed that. That was a real redemption story for the Ozito pruning shears. We have plenty coming on Turf and Tools. I've got to test this at some stage. Also have the still MSA 300C to test. A wildly powerful battery chainsaw aimed at professionals, which I am most definitely not. Come along for the ride, have a laugh. You can criticize my technique. See you next time.